For the Chicago Bears.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's McDonald. And now here is another interception. Mike Edwards picks it off.
McDonald's pass intercepted by the Buccaneers. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The throw there by Brady intended for Gronkowski, but incomplete.
Gronkowski incomplete. It's 3rd down and 2 yards.
After the incompletion, here now 3rd and 2. The final shot before half for Brady. Going deep this time for Miller. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. The 2nd half starts with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this one up to the 26.
The ball carrier. He was taken down by Kyle Fuller. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Brady going to throw. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off at his own 47. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, pretty much everything went their way offensively in the 1st half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
The ball carrier.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll try and pick it up with Cohen. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago! Tariq Cohen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears draw a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that'll make our score 14-7.
Set to kick off.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
24-yard gain on the play.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
And it's 3rd down.
Here's Brady to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Brady. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. On 1st down, it's Jones. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. This is Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now Brady. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And Gay knocks this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it.
Oh, Cohen lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Brady now to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The 3rd quarter.
Back now at Soldier Field.
17.
It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Cohen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Here's McDonald off of the play fake. He's going to wind up and air it out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Intercepted.
Certainly not the best of throws that time from the rookie QB.
And now he'll need the support from the home crowd and the hometown fans because they know they've got a gem here. They know they've got a good player, but there will be mistakes along the way. They will have to show some patience in order to help him.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Jones. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
The ball carrier.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll go again to Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
Brought down by...
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks. And now here's a tackle behind the line.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team. But the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there, first down.
Nice gain there by the second-year runner out of Iowa State, David Montgomery, who often finishes his runs moving forward and knocking defenders back. He finished tied with Josh Jacobs for the most carries by a rookie last year.
And now here is another interception. Antoine Winfield Jr. picks it, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
They'll take over first.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Again, it's Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold up. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. We know that the rookie's going to go to a top target like that often. That time, though, maybe a little telegraphed.
And that's not unusual because you do tend to lock in on one of your better players, and when under duress, when in doubt, you're going to throw the ball in his direction because oftentimes you could be wrong, but that receiver...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 20. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. McDonald gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. Touchdown, Chicago! Tariq Cohen with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score.
Steven Hauschka set to kick off.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And by rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so good opportunity for this offense with solid field position. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 more there and another first down.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Buccaneers.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a first down in field goal range already. Now a first down carry by Jones. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down.
Brings up second.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Brady. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. He took the hit when he threw that ball. Maybe the O-line just thankful that that worked out for a touchdown.
Yeah, because, you know, their pride is don't let that guy get hit, no matter what, under any circumstances. But anytime it pays off in a touchdown, they'll figure out how to block a little bit better going forward.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he returns this to the 22.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
They'll take over.
That's one of those interceptions watching from up here. The quarterback wide receiver just looked a little out of sync.
They did look a little out of sync, and, yeah, they're going to examine that when they get to the sidelines, and they'll talk about it throughout next week when they watch the tape. But the guy who's going to be there for him really...
And he loses the football a second time, and this is picked up by the Bears.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the 2-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact, coaches might be secretly happy. Gives them a chance to do a little extra coaching next week.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From midfield, here's Brady. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there,